Alright, it is currently 8:30 in the morning. Just dropped off Princess and Kai to go downtown, so they're gonna have a fun day, and I'm here because that bad boy needs some service. But no worries, because I have this bad boy. It's gonna be a fun day. And since we're spending some extra quality time today, since I have a long bike ride home, I thought, why don't we talk about how to become a filmmaker? And maybe I'll share my story of how I became a filmmaker. I've probably done it before, but why not do it again? But first, I need some breakfast. I don't usually eat breakfast, but I'm super hungry right now. I need like a smoothie or something. I really wish there were more healthy options for like fast food. This place, Freshie, is like one of the few in Toronto that's like more widespread. There's a really good one in Scandinavia called Joe and the Juice. Oh, if I could have a Joe and the Juice like downstairs at the office, I would be in heaven. I would be there every single day. They have the best juices. But this one's pretty good too. For some reason, I'm terrible with breakfast. I just can't stomach breakfast. It's so hard for me to eat. And smoothie is one of the few that I have no problems with. All right, so for those of you who may not know, I actually didn't start making any videos except for a few random skate videos when I was younger, but I didn't edit anything. I didn't make a whole video by myself ever until I was like 22 or 23 years old. That's when I made my very first video ever. And here's kind of my story. I'll try to be pretty quick with it because I'm noticing that as soon as you start talking in a vlog, time fills up really quickly and all of a sudden you have a 15-minute video. So I'm gonna try to keep this nice and sweet and short. Let's go back to like, I think 2005 is when I graduated. 2005 or 2004, I graduated from high school and I was really good at school. I was good at math, sciences. I hated all the arts. English was the worst class. So I thought, hey, I'm gonna become a doctor. I'm good at this stuff. I get good grades. I'm gonna be a doctor. I went and studied kinesiology, which is like sports science at York University here in Toronto. I was there for 2 years and then I kind of just, I don't know, wasn't really feeling it. And the thought of having to study like at least 6-ish more years to become a doctor was a little bit daunting, and it just wasn't the most appealing thought at that time when I was younger. So I decided to do some sort of like exchange trip, and I had two choices. One was to go to Australia and the other was to go back to my homeland of Finland. And so I ended up going to Finland to this Bible college, which is more like an excuse to just go hang out and do something totally different, no pressure. Basically just do an exchange in a different country and go back to my roots, I guess. 1 year led to 2 years, which led to 3 years. And the only degree right now that I have from a university is a bachelor's in theology. Believe it or not, I'm a YouTuber filmmaker with a bachelor's in theology. Not sure how much that helps in filmmaking. Maybe don't go down that route. But what was great about college is that there's a lot of free time. You might not realize it if you're in college right now or university, but there's a lot of free time. And for some reason, I started to get interested in filmmaking and I started watching tutorials. And what I would do is I'd be sitting in class and I'd have one earbud in my ear and I'd be listening to tutorial, and the other ear I'd be sort of listening to whatever the teacher or professor was talking about. Started with video Copilot tutorials. I don't know why I was watching After Effects tutorials, the very first ones. And then it just slowly built from there. I started to watch YouTube for more tutorials, started to buy some cameras. And the very first videos that I shot were for the church I was going to. They were super ghetto, but nobody had really seen any videos at the church before. So everybody was loving them. So that gave me a lot of motivation to keep going and making more and more videos. And then eventually me and my brother, my younger brother, got our first paid gig. We shot a wedding. It was our friend's wedding. I think we made like a couple €100 or something like that. And that's when the ball really started to get rolling. We started to get some other wedding inquiries, and next thing you know, we had shot a wedding in Italy. It was this beautiful wedding in this small little town on this mountain. It was like an incredible location, incredible wedding. And that video started taking off and started getting more and more work. And then other companies started to ask, hey, can you guys make a video to promote our brand or our company? And then I became a youth pastor for a year, so I was at a church working. And Finland has this funny thing. Finland's a great place. They have free university, free healthcare, free daycare for your kids. Pretty much everything you would need is free until you start working and then you pay your taxes and all that stuff. It kind of makes sense. But the one catch is that all the men have to go to the army. You have to do 6 months of army, or you can do 11 months, I think it is, of a civil service at any non-profit, essentially. So a hospital, a church. And so I could have done it at a church, but you couldn't do it at a church that you had a working relationship with. So I was already working at that church, so I had to quit that job anyways. And then I met my now wife, Princess, and then I moved back to Toronto because I was evading the army, and also I found Princess. When I moved back, my younger brother had already moved back here a year before, and so we were both in Toronto, and we decided to email a church to see if they would hire any filmmakers to make all of their media. Luckily, we found a really cool one called C4 Church, and we started working there and then freelancing on the side. And we did that, or I did that for like, I think 2 years. And that was a really great place to learn. I learned a ton, again, because the expectations aren't crazy high and the creativity, everything that you can try is really high. So there's a lot you can try out and learn, and you'd have these crazy ideas and they wouldn't turn out at all like you planned, but it would still be something great that the church liked, so that was really cool. But I found that I was kind of the best with my brother in terms of media at that church. I wasn't learning from anybody that was a lot better than me. So that's when I decided to go full-time freelance, and I started working with my friend Mark Bone, and we were working for some different agencies in Toronto. And I was starting to really climb the ladder of freelance filmmaking. I was starting to work for some bigger companies. It was just starting out. I was starting to work for Nike and San Pellegrino and Energizer and these bigger companies that had bigger budgets. The commercials that I was doing weren't big commercials yet. They were kind of these more smaller, doc styled for online, but it was a really, really great experience, and the pay was starting to be pretty dang significant. And that's kind of how I became a filmmaker. After that, because of financial reasons and freedom reasons, I decided to try this thing called YouTube. Have you heard of it? YouTube? And in 2017, I started this YouTube channel. It was called Travel Feels First, and then I moved it over to just my own name. And here we are. That is my filmmaking career in a nutshell. That took 8 minutes. Oh gosh. I was right. Every time you start talking, time just fills up on a... Okay, we gotta move on with the story. And I barely drank any of my smoothie. I don't know if you guys saw that. I almost killed myself. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but I almost fell off the curb. So I just realized I'm an idiot. I was gonna go to the comfort of my home and AC to film some more, and I just realized I left my keys at Hyundai with those guys. Well, that sucks, but that's a great reason to go do an episode of fast food. But first, I want to see who wins, the electric bike or that guy. You guys want to race? Even a Versa. Who do you think's gonna win? Most likely you. Where can I watch this? YouTube. What's your name? Matti Haapoja. All right, you guys ready? Okay, let's race. On the green light. They're beating me! Not by much though, not by much. I'm catching up. Okay, they won. It's really weird going about the same speed as cars though. Okay, let's get to the fast food review. I think that was like a 6 for the shawarma. But this lemonade, easy 10. I would come back for this lemonade any day. Found this really old rickety picnic table, but I think it'll do for this part of the vlog. I apologize for the cars going back and forth every once in a while. You're just gonna have to deal with that. All right, so let's talk about if you want to be a filmmaker, what can you do right now? And first of all, I think you should have, I've talked about this before, you should have the mentality of learn, make, repeat. keep doing that over and over again. Learn, make, and repeat that process. But what are the actual steps that you need to take in order to become a filmmaker? And I think that first off, you have two options. You can either go the film school route or you can go the school of internet. And I think that's been covered many times. I don't think we need to talk about that. But whatever you choose, I think most importantly, you need to come out of film school or the school of internet with a portfolio, a reel. You need to be able to show people that you know what you're doing when it comes to filmmaking. You need to shoot a short film, you need to make a commercial, even if it's fake, you need to make a documentary, a music video, you need to make something so that you can show people that you know what you're doing. Now, in the process of making that reel, I guarantee you already start getting some inquiries, some people asking you if you could make videos for them. But if you haven't yet, or if you're not getting enough of those, what you need to do is start putting yourself out there. Put it on YouTube, put it on Vimeo, is Vimeo still a thing? Put it on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anywhere and everywhere, and start sending it to companies like just in this random industrial area. There's probably like a bunch of different companies that you could send a video to and say that I can make something like this for you guys. You need to start hustling. A great way to start, pretty much all of the filmmakers that I've ever met have started in weddings. Weddings are a great place to start. People around you are getting married all the time and they need videos. And videos still, they're not as common as photos, so there's a lot more opportunity. Sorry for the cars. There's a lot more opportunities for you to offer your services to them because they don't already have a videographer in mind for their wedding video. Now, you can also go the route of actually reaching out to production companies or advertising agencies because they're the ones that have a ton of work coming in all the time, and then they hire a DP or a gaffer or a grip or an AC or whatever the role is. They hire those people so you can get your foot in the door. Maybe it's a PA, a production assistant, basically just doing anything and everything they need, getting coffee or setting up something, whatever help they need. Get your foot in the door and then you can kind of climb up the ladder. Maybe you AC, camera assistant, and then you move up to DP and maybe a director later on. You can also do it that way if you're not as good with the business sense and building your own company, your own freelance company or production company. Start working with somebody who already has a lot coming in. Or nowadays you could even reach out to YouTube channels, see if they need some help editing or filming something. Maybe don't reach out to the filmmaking channels, but maybe there's some other channels that you could see like, hey, I could really make their production quality a lot better, and you could ask if they need help. But the main thing, the most important thing is that you have something to show for yourself. If you don't have something to show for yourself, don't send those emails. You're not gonna get any replies. It's not worth it. First, you need proof of concept, proof that you know what you're doing. Get that reel going. You don't have to wait. You can start right now. Film anything and everything, make it look good. Okay, I chose like the most busy area ever to film this segment, but that's fine. Okay, I think by the time I get back to the car dealership, my car should hopefully be ready. So let's go grab that. So remember that time when I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna head to the dealership. The car should be ready by now. They said it would be done by 12. They promised very latest 1 p.m. I was like, cool, I'll be here at 1. I get here and my car hasn't even moved. It hasn't even been touched. It's 1 p.m., hasn't even been touched. Needless to say, I was a little bit frustrated, but I kept my cool, of course. Gave them a second chance. They said they were gonna set a team of 4 detailers and get the oil change done, which realistically takes like less than an hour to do an oil change and detailing. 2 o'clock rolls by, 3 o'clock rolls by. Finally, I get my car and I literally have to wipe it down myself because it's still so dirty. Yeah, worst customer experience service of my life. Don Valley North Hyundai. You get a big fat thumbs down. Guys, look at my steering wheel. It's dirtier than when I started. All right, lesson learned. Do not let other people clean your car. Do it yourself. And save yourself the money, apparently. It's only about 6 o'clock and I am exhausted. This has just been one of those days where things don't go right and it is what it is. So I think I'm just gonna take a nap now and I will see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, vlog end. What do you have, buddy? Trucks. I don't feel mad anymore. Ice cream and time with the family did wonders. puts things into perspective. Right, buddy? Yeah. Yeah. Say, see you tomorrow. All is well. It's gonna get you. It's gonna get you.